Okay. So last week, I also talked a little bit about the upcoming JLPT. We had a little bit of a introduction to how that may look like. And so I'm just going to share the whiteboard right now because there is another type of question, or really it's the same type of question. So we have here kori o nomimashita, right? So we have one sentence that essentially where you have to replace the underlined word or phrase with the appropriate other reading. So last week we had the kanji for yama, and of course we had to pick the correct hiragana. What you'll also find on the JLPT is now a selection of kanji that kind of look similar, right? But there's only one correct answer here. Can you identify, I see two. Yes, it is two, right?
Nice.
So this one, very good, yeah.
They're at the water cooler. That's how I remember.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Exactly. Wonderful. Yeah, we've seen that kanji quite a lot so far, so hopefully it's easier to recognize. And I mean, it is, right? So this week, fingers crossed, thumbs held. We can also finish finally the first chapter of Yotsuba, and kanji like that we'll see there as well. Okay. Ooh. So let's see. Oops, not that one, this one. So let's jump in. So there was a little bit of homework. Of course, like always, we're going to review that. And then we start the new chapter, A Day in Robert's Life, or Robato San no Ichinichi. And we just go over the first dialogue today. There are 3 dialogues in total. The first dialogue is quite packed with 4 of the 6 grammar points that we are discussing. The focus really is on the te form, the te form for verbs. We have the ichidan doshi, which is very simple to form, like always. Then, of course, we have the godan doshi, which is unfortunately a little bit more complicated. We just have to memorize the rules and practice them. And then there's also our irregular verbs that have their te form. But we can do a lot with that, right? We already discovered the te form quite a bit in our Genki lessons, just for our very first lesson, actually, right? So saying like, oh, I leave and come back. This is essentially describing 2 actions. We discovered the te form in our readings in Yotsuba with te kudasai. Sometimes the kudasai was omitted, making requests, right? Also, what we can or should not do, so it's really prohibition. And we also discovered a special form of the kara, which gives reason, right? And then we have a couple of kanji to cover, actually from lesson 7 already. So with kanji, we are always ahead. I think there's only 4 or 5 kanji today that I put on the slides, but we have a few more compound kanji that I want to show. But before we go into homework review, remember how to say today is the 7th of February.
今日は I don't know how to say the 7th. I'm trying to look it up.
What is February? We start with the month first, right?
Right. Let me see. It is Tsuki.
It's Tsuki, and then in combination with the number, especially for months, like what month it is.
Would you say Tsuki Shichinichi?
Mm,
Or just thinking
Shichin.
now, no?
Oh, Shichinichi. Yeah, 7 days. Okay. So, 今日は2月, right? So, regular reading. The tsuki, the moon, takes on gatsu here for the month, right? We have gatsu and getsu as onyomi readings. When we say what month it is, it becomes gatsu. Ni is regular here, so ni gatsu for February. And then for the 7th is not chichinichi, even though it's understood, but nanoka, right? So that's one of the irregular readings. So 今日は2月7日です。Next week should be a little easier. Oh, actually, never mind. I take that back. You might have to look it up. Okay. So we last chapter was all about adjectives. So we had the e adjectives and the na adjectives. The distinction there in Genki is pretty good, right? But also remember that na adjectives really behave a lot like nouns. So I'm just going over the page 52 real quick. For the e adjectives, we were asked to conjugate the adjectives into formal form. So we have the dictionary form was given, and then we had to conjugate them into the what Genki calls present, right? What I call non-past. The affirmative, the negative, and then also the past affirmative, past negative. So we have atarashi, which is new, right? Atarashi desu, atarashiku nai desu, atarashikatta desu, atarashiku nakatta desu. Isugashi. What is isugashi?
I just knew this last night.
What is hima? Remember
Available.
hima?
Yeah, available.
And isugashi is kind of antonym, so it is busy, like very busy, right? Or just busy. So isugashi, isugashi desu, isugashi kunai desu, isugashi katta desu, isugashi kunakatta desu. And we have samui. What is samui?
Cold.
It is cold, right? What is the opposite? What is hot?
Atsu?
Yeah, atsui, right?
Atsui,
adjective atsui. But yeah, you're right? Especially in anime, you often hear atsu, like the e is dropped, like, oh, it's hot, right? Especially if you burn yourself on a hot beverage, for example. So for samui, cold, we have samui desu, samukunai desu, samukatta desu, samukunakatta desu. Muzukashi. What is muzukashi?
Isn't that entertaining or interesting?
Interesting, no. Entertaining is omoshiroi, right? But this kanji kind of looks difficult.
Oh.
Oh, that means difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Muzukashi is right. Difficult. So muzukashi, muzukashi desu, muzukashi kunai desu, muzukashi katta desu, muzukashi kunakatta desu. Next, we have chi-sai. We actually will learn the kanji today. That's chapter 7 kanji. Chi-sai. Remember what chi-sai means?
Small.
Exactly. Yeah. We already know the kanji for oki, or like the dai in daisuki or daikirai, right? Big, large. Chi-sai is small, or it can also mean little. The kanji is used not just in chi-sai, but Genki has a couple of other words where it takes a different kunyomi reading. But here it's chi-sai. So chi-sai desu, chi-sai kunai desu, chi-sakatta desu, chi-sakunakatta desu. Pointing out that it's chi and then another e, right? So chi-sai. And then of course we have e, good, right? We have e desu, and then everything else, right? Conjugates with the older form, the older dictionary form, which is really yoi. So we have yokunai desu, yokatta desu, and yokunakatta desu. Next, we only had 4 na adjectives on the page. So we have himana, which becomes hima desu, hima janai desu, hima deshita, and hima janakatta desu, right? Next, nigiyaka na, nigiyaka desu, nigiyaka janai desu, nigiyaka deshita, nigiyaka janakatta desu, right? Or alternative forms are fine as well. Ski na, ski desu, ski janai desu, ski deshita, ski janakatta desu. And kirei na, kirei desu, kirei janai desu, kirei deshita, and kirei janakatta desu. はい。次は I was busy yesterday. Who's starting us off?
I can do it.
はい。
Oh my god. 昨日
昨日 yesterday.
昨日私は暇じゃないかったです。
暇じゃなかったです。Yeah, you were not available yesterday, which is correct. Or we can say 昨日忙しかったです, right? We can also just use the word for busy as well. But yeah, it's yep. The homework was difficult, James-san.
宿題は難しいです。
難しいです. That means the homework is difficult.
Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. 宿題は難しかったです。
Very good. 宿題は難しかったです。はい、次は Takeshi's room was not clean. Katya-san, すみません。Katya-san.
So I couldn't for the life of me remember what room was. So I just have room.
That works.
just FYI. Takeshi-sanのルームはきれいじゃなかったです。
Yeah. And room, we have heya. Right?
Heya.
So
Thank you.
Takeshi-san no heya wa kirei janakatta desu. Very good. Hey, the weather was good, James-san.
天気は良かったです。Oh wait,
Very
that's
good.
present. Is that present or past?
Yukata is past. Yeah. So if you were to say the weather is good, you can say tenki wa ii desu. So yukata desu is correct. The weather was good. Tenki wa yukata desu. Very good. And next, the trip was not fun. Katya-san.
旅程は楽しくかったです。
Close. Yoko, right? Previous chapter was it the trip to Okinawa. So it's Yoko.
Oh, I wrote it. I do have ko, but it looks like a te, so I thought I just okay. Got it. Thank
so
you.
Yoko wa tanashiku nakatta desu. Hai. Very good. And the hotel was not expensive, James-san.
ホテルは高くなかったです。
Very good. Hotel wa takaku nakatta desu. Very good. Very good. Hi.
So I didn't realize this. I also did part 1, which was incredibly hard.
That's good. If you want, you can scan it or take a photo or something and then post it in Discord and I'll check it.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. Good job. Okay. So, 最高の横について教えてください. There's a little bit of grammar that we learned today. But essentially, I want to hear about your best trip. So it was page 57, Roman numeral 1. So どこに行きましたか、ジェームスさん。
私はロサンゼルスに行きました。
ああ、そうですか。Interesting. まあ、カティアさん、最高の旅行についてどこに行きましたか？
私はパリに行きました。
そうですか。フランスのパリですね。はい。誰と行きましたか、カティアさん
？I am trying to read my handwriting. So, the hell is that supposed to be? James は行きました。
ジェームスさんと行きました。
と行きました。Got it.
ジェームスさんは誰と行きましたか？
I didn't know how to answer this in the past tense, so I just wrote 私の友達。
私の友達と行きました。
と行きました。
You went with your friend, right? Because the question is asking here with whom you went. So, and this is another instance of where you can essentially replace the question word, which is dare to or dare, right? Who, and put in your answer. So, dare to ikimashita ka? And you can, of course, also drop the question particle ka at the end. So then you just place in with whom you went, right? So, tomodachi to ikimashita. はい。はい。ジェームスさん、天気はどうでしたか？
天気は良かったです。
いいですね。カティさん、パリの天気はどうでしたか？
I have it different from what James wrote. 天気はいいでした。So I know I'm supposed to use よかった、right? Okay.
はい、よかったです。はい。Yeah, so when you use, you can use deshta for na adjectives, but since e or e is a e adjective, you have to conjugate that part. はい。パリの食べ物はどうでしたか？
食べ物は、美味しかったです。
美味しかったです。ジェームさん、ロサンゼルスの食べ物はどうでしたか？
食べ物はよかった、よかったもです。
よかったもです。
I'm trying to say it was also good.
OK. はい。ロサンゼルスの食べ物も美味しかったです。よかったです。Yeah, I guess you can say よかったです, but usually to say delicious or it was good, I think you would use おいしい or うまい more than you would use e. はい。はい、ジェームさん。ロサンゼルスで何をしましたか？
私は買い物に行きました。
買い物しました。There's another form that we'll actually discover soon. I think it might be next lesson where we can say you went there to do shopping. But here you can just say 買い物をしました or 買い物しました。はい。 カティさん、パリで何をしましたか？
I'm kind of shook. I also got 私は買い物をしました。
買い物をしました。はい。
We like to go shopping.
That is good. Help the economy. I appreciate. はい。カティさん、お土産を買いましたか？
いえ、お土産を買いませんでした。
買いませんでした。そうですか。自分のプレゼントを買いました。はい。ジェイプさん、お土産を買いましたか？
はい。コーヒーを買いました。
いい人ですね。はい。
スターバックス。
素晴らしい。はい。カティさん、どんな食べ物が好きですか？
寿司と野菜は食べ物好きます。
Yeah, so you can say, if you want to include 食べ物, you can say 好きな食べ物 or 食べ物は, and then or just say, or follow that up by 寿司と野菜が好きです。
Got
so
it.
you can, yeah, so you can just say 寿司と野菜が好きです or 好きな食べ物は or just, well, if you say 好きな食べ物は then you can just say 寿司と野菜です or you can say 食べ物は寿司と野菜が好きです。So there's many ways to answer this, but the simplest one is probably 寿司と野菜が好きです。
Got it.
はい。ジェイプさん、どんな食べ物が好きですか？
私は照り焼きが好きです。
照り焼き。はい。ジェイプさん、どんな飲み物が好きですか？
私はソーダが好きです。
ソーダ。はい。カティさん、どんな飲み物が好きですか？
お茶と水好きです。
が好きです。
が好きです。
はい。
So, お茶と水が好きです。
はい。
Got it.
はい。完璧です。Perfect。どんな音楽が好きですか？カティさん。
I'm not for some reason I couldn't answer this question, but now I remember. Ongaku is listened to, right?
音楽 is music.
Music. Okay, yeah. So I didn't write down my answer, so I guess it'd be rock to K-pop 好きです。No, K-pop が好きです。Yeah.
はい。Very good. はい。ジェームさん、どんな音楽が好きですか？
私はジャズが好きです。
ジャズいいですね。はい。Very good. All right. 58. You can check that. BAA, BAB. Up, down, left, right. Start. No. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So then we had a listening question, which was very interesting. So we had Yoshida-san, right? Yasashi Hito was the favorite type. Tenisu su, right? So the answer was tenisu shimasu. Whenever there's like a table form or something like that, I like to fill it out in just a dictionary form or like informal form, right? So that's why I wrote tenisu. So you can write tenisu shimasu, which is fine too, right? Get the point across. It's just more like for the information. Kawaguchi-san, 面白い人ね、and 友達とご飯を食べます。食べる。And then we have Nakayama-san, 静かな人。And then we have テレビを見ます。Which I guess in times of a pandemic isn't like the most like disliked person in general. I mean, I'm not evaluating anything, what you do with your free time. It can be, but yeah, anyway, I should stop talking. But ultimately, Suzuki-san chose Yoshida-san, no? Who prefers a yasashi ito and plays tennis. Cool. And then we found out, for example, that Mary dislikes classical music because remember what she said?
No, but I remember she said she didn't like it.
Yeah, she said she does not understand it. But, which I think, you know, like classical music, I guess, well, the term classical music, I guess, also encompasses like baroque and romantic and whatnot, right? So I guess ultimately all music that it's a little older and still to some degree passes the test of time, right? But she said like, yeah, I don't understand, which is fair. Okay. Interesting also that often actually, and I think this is more of a cultural phenomenon that I briefly want to touch on, that you find, in my observation, you find seldom native Japanese speakers who outright say they hate something, in at least as long as you're still on like using must form, right? Maybe they say something like amari suki janai, like I don't really like it, right? But they don't necessarily say kirai desu, like I hate it, right? Even though they really have a strong dislike for it. So it's often more softening and saying, yeah, I don't really like it, but what they can mean is like, yeah, I really hate it. I never do this, right? So while Mary is like pretty much upfront, it's like, yeah, I hate it. I don't understand it, right? And where Takeshi-san, you know, likes everything. For J-pop, right? He says, yeah, yeah, I kind of like it, but not really, right? Maybe he actually doesn't like it at all, but because, you know, J-pop is the kind of thing which is in right now, right? And you kind of want to fit into the norm, even though he might hate it. He says like, yeah, I like it a little bit, but not that much. So just FYI, you know, might encounter that. Okay, so actually, before we go into the dialogue, sorry about that. There's one more thing that I actually want to cover, and that was the textbook, page 315B. It was a social media post. Who would like to read? You know what? I'm going to start with the first paragraph, and then we go around. Okay, so you're on page 315?
Yep.
Cool.
50,
Cool.
50?
15.
15, got it.
315ページ。はい。
はい。
はい. And B, no? So we have the whole section is Tanoshi Yoko, yeah, a fun trip. And for B, it says read most posts below, write Mau, the circle, for the things she did or does, and write X for the things she didn't or doesn't do in Vienna. So I'm just going to read the first paragraph. 今、ウィーンにいます。ここはちょっと寒いです。ウィーンはとても綺麗な街です。はい。Katya-san, the next paragraph, please.
昨日はお汁を食べました。Right?
No. So Oshio is castle, right? So did she eat a castle? Is that the kanji for?
見ました。見ました。
Yeah. So what did she do?
She saw an old castle.
exactly. And then so for the point 1 on the right hand of the text, right, we can do the maru in 1 because that's true. She saw an old castle. Right. Next sentence, please.
古かったでした。Okay, got it. とっても綺麗でした。So it was old, but it was very pretty.
Yeah, and it's fukatta desu ga. No, I heard.
Okay. たくさん賞賛を取りました。
Close. It's takusan shashin o torimashita.
写真を撮りました。So they took pictures?
Yeah, she took a lot of pictures, right? So number 3, take pictures. Yep. Maru. Hey, Jameson. Next paragraph, please.
We Sony.
You can use mine.
The above.
Oh, I'm sorry. 夜は苦しくのコンサートに来ました。よかったです。
要は詳しくのコンサートに行きました。よかったです。What does that mean?
She went to see a concert.
At night. And how was it?
It was good.
Very good. Okay, so we don't know anything about ballet yet, right? So Niban go to see a ballet. Yeah, we don't know about that, right? Yeah, so that paragraph does not have anything else. So it doesn't say anything about drink beer at the cafe, enjoy sweets, or eat at McDonald's, right? Okay, last paragraph. Wien ni wa cafe ga takusan arimasu. No? And Wien, there are many cafes. 毎日カフェでコーヒーを飲みます。So every day at the cafe, she drinks coffee, right? Yonban says, drink beer at the cafe. So that's not right. She drinks coffee at the cafe. What you should be doing. And then last line, ケーキも食べます。I also eat cake. So that could mean that she enjoys sweets. No? Goban. And then sugoku oishii desu. So it's very delicious, right? So nothing about eat at McDonald's. So ichiban, sanban, and goban. No? Maru. Hey. Tsugi no peiji. Hi. So we have the postcard from Robert to his former host mother, right? So I'm just gonna, actually, my cat is meowing too loud. I don't know if you hear it. Shouldn't, but because the mic really should pick up this area, but
I thought it was our cat, actually. I was really confused.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute. Hi, Katya-san, do you want to read the postcard? You can start at the line below. So it's Oka-san, o genki desu ka?
I'm going to cry because I don't remember all the kanji, so I'm just going to do my best.
はい、頑張ってください。
はい、ありがとうございます。お母さん、お元気ですか?
Very good.
今、oh God. I don't know that kanji.
私。
Oh, well, his penmanship sucks. So, watashi
I
wa
agree.
Okinawa ni imasu. So he's going. No, he's in Okinawa right now.
Exactly. He's in Okinawa right now. Hey.
ここは暑いですか? So it's hot. The weather is hot, rather. Or it's hot here, right? ここ。いい天気です.
Very
The weather's
good.
nice.
Yep.
昨日は友達緒に海で泳ぎました. Oh, he bought omiyage for his friends yesterday.
I see what happened there. So yeah, yesterday, 昨日は友達と with the friends 一緒に together 海で Umi is the ocean, the sea, right? 海で泳ぎました. So he was swimming with friends yesterday in the ocean.
I
right?
see.
In the
Okay.
sea.
Got it. 今に right?
今日
That's right.
Yeah, 今 and Michi or he is 今日
Got it. Okay. So today, 今日はday and book.
And what's after?
Hito is person. Day book. Tour guide.
Jameson, do you know?
日本人
Yes, 日本人.
Oh.
Hi.
It's weird to see it in this way, right? Nihonjin no. This is man. I don't remember.
Jameson, you remember?
I only remember that it has a rice patty on his head.
Okay, so it's otoko no hito. No? So otoko and then no hito.
Otoko no hito to Mexico hito no
Mexico jin. Yep.
Oh, Mexico jin no onna no.
Yep.
Onna no hito to yama ni ikimashita.
Very good.
They went to the mountain with a Japanese dude and a Mexican girl.
Yep, very good. Hi. Okay, next is 大変でしたがとても綺麗でしたの感じで Yay. So it was hard, it was difficult, but it was pretty. It was nice, right? 毎日楽しいです. Every day is fun. はい。Jameson, can you finish the last 3 or actually 2 lines?
Yeah, sure. 沖縄の食べ物も大好きです。So the things to eat in Okinawa, I really like.
And did you notice something like grammatically? He's missing the ga.
Oh, classic Roberto-san. Classic. So では O genki desu. What?
O genki de. Yeah, deba
I
is
can
like
do.
well then, and o genki de is take care.
Oh, I see. And then this one is 5. Oh wait, no, this is 9.
Mhm.
9, and then I forgot that one. 9 day.
Yeah, so it's kugatsu kokonoka.
Kugatsu
Yep.
kokonoka. Okay.
Mhm.
9.
And
And
then
roba to sumisu.
I was going to ask you about this. You say he's
Mhm.
using the bullet point to separate his names. Is that a common thing to do?
Yeah, especially for foreign names, but you also see it actually for Japanese names. Mhm.
Okay.
And then the order is sometimes switched, sometimes or quite often. It also used to be that also gaikokujin, a foreigner, would put their last name first, then the dot, and then the first name. But I think in more recent times, it has been common practice that people actually put their first name, then the dot, and then the last name, if that's how it's common in their country of origin, right? So yeah. Oh, went blank there for a second. I was like, oh no. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's difficult, huh? This handwriting, but it's good practice.
I said konohito.
this guy. Koitsu. Okay, so now let's open up what was the page number? Dialogue 1. I think it was around 146. Let me, yeah, 146. And let's read dialogue 1. Okay. So we have Yamashita Sensei and Robato. Who would like to read Yamashita Sensei?
I'll be Yama-chan.
Yamachan. Hi. James-san, do you want to take on the role of Robato-san?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, dozo.
Oh, yeah, we'll use yours. Okay. Roberto-san. Roberto-san, 月のへ、ポジ
Pe.
ペジ Oh, 次のページを読んでください。
おばあとさん、次のページを読んでください。はい。
ロベルトさん、起きてください。クラスで寝てはいきませんよ。きませんよ。
おばあとさん、起きてください。クラスで寝てはいけませんよ。
先生、教科書を忘れました。
close. the Sensei, 教科書を忘れました。
忘れました。
Yeah, 教科書を忘れました。はい。
はい、すみません。So it sounds like.
Yeah, you missed. Your line is number 5.
Oh, sorry. 許可証を持ってきてくださいね。毎日つきますから。
はい。教科書を持ってきてくださいね。毎日使いますか？はい。
はい、すみません。
はい、すみません。はい。So there's a lot of stuff going on here in this dialogue. Yeah, it seems like Robert, I don't know what's happening with Robert here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's still in Okinawa in his mind. Who knows?
He's not a very good student, is what's going on.
Yeah, that was also always my thinking, but maybe, who knows? Maybe he has stuff going on in his life, right? Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out more. I'm sure he'll come around. Okay, so T form. There were many T forms. So in this chapter alone, right, we use it to make requests, form sentences that describe multiple activities, give and ask for permission, and state that something is forbidden, right? So those are, and this is all in this chapter. 3 of these we'll cover today. And there's more T forms or more usages of T forms in actually for verbs, but then also you kind of have a T form for adjectives as well. But this chapter deals with just the T form for verbs. Okay, so how to conjugate them? Let's start with our ichidan doshi, what Genki calls ru verbs, right? And it is very easy. So to form the T form of ru verbs of ichidan doshi, we just replace the final ru and the verb's dictionary form with te, and you have the T form, right? So you have taberu, it becomes tabete, for example, right? So just drop the ru at the end, replace it with te, and you have the te form of ichidan doshi. So very easy. Another way to think of this is you have the stem, right, of the verb. For example, the mas stem of ichidan doshi, right? I mean, it is really just one form. You have taberu, you have tabemas, tabeta, and oh, sorry, didn't cover tabeta yet. But you have just the one stem, right? The stem for taberu is tabe, and then you just attach te on it as well. But yeah. So for godan doshi, it's a little bit more complicated, unfortunately, but not too complicated. However, there are some things you have to just memorize. And by the way, the rules are on the chart on page 150, right? So this is under grammar point 1. There's a chart, and you find these essentially under verbs with final and then the final syllable, right? So for example, kau, right, to buy, has a u. The last syllable then gets replaced with a small tsu and te. So kau becomes kat te, right? Au, to meet someone, becomes at te, right? Or let's say we had motsu, right, to carry. Motsu becomes motte. Matsu, right, to wait, becomes matte. And then kaeru, as in kaerimas, like to return, which is not an ichidan doshi, right? So godan doshi that also ends on u. So kaeru becomes kaete. So when the last syllable of a godan doshi ends with u, tsu, or u, to form the te form, you replace the last syllable with a small tsu and te. For mu, u, and nu, you replace the last syllable with nde. So for example, yomu, to read, becomes yonde, right? Asobu, to play, becomes asonde. For nu, I really just remember one verb that ends with nu, and that's shinu, like to die, shinde, right? So next we have ku, like for example, kiku, to listen, right? That becomes kita. So long e, right? We have the ki and then another e and then te, kita. Something, maybe another example is kaku, to write or to draw, depending on the kanji. Kaku becomes kaite. There's one exception to this. We know iku, to go, right? Doesn't become ite, but ite, like ittekimasu, for example, right? We already know that phrase, and that is the te form, ittekimasu. I go and come back. This is actually describing two actions. Gu, let's see. Oh yeah, we had oyogu, right? To swim. Oyogimasu, or from oyogu, becomes oyoide. And then last one, su, like hanasu, becomes hanashite. What else is there? Yeah, just a couple. So those are the rules. Just keep in mind one exception, right? And the list of how to conjugate them is also in your textbook on page 150. And then, of course, we have our irregular verbs. We have su and kuru, right? Su becomes shite, and kuru becomes kita. And those are all of the rules. So what I like to do next is practice this together, just to form the te form. And then after that, we actually see how we can use them. But right now, let's just focus on the conjugation of the doshi of the verbs. So we have ukiru. It's to get up, right? Is it a ichidan doshi or is it a godan doshi?
It's ichidan doshi, so it's okite.
Exactly, okite. Very good. Hi. We have taberu. Jameson, ichidan doshi or godan doshi?
Godan doshi, I think.
What is the must form of taberu?
Tabemasu.
Exactly, tabemasu, right? So to form the for ichidan doshi, we drop to form the must form, right? We drop the final u and attach mas, right? So that would apply here. If this was a godan doshi, we would replace the final syllable in the must form with the iro and then attach mas. So it would be taberimas, but it's tabemas, we know that, right? So it's actually ichidan doshi. So to form the te form, just like in the example of ukiru and okite, for ichidan doshi, we drop the final ru and just replace that with te. So taberu becomes
Tabete.
Yeah, tabete. Very good. Like kau doesn't even end in ru, so we automatically know it has to be a godan doshi. So Katya-san.
Kaute.
No? Close.
Ends with an u.
Yeah.
So it's
let's look at this.
little tsute, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Am I saying it wrong?
Oh, yeah. So
we're getting rid of the u then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Cut. Very good. Very good. Hey. Next, James-san, Yomu.
This one would be Yonde.
Very good. Yonde kudasai. Please read. Hey. Kaku, to write.
Kakuite. Wait, kaite.
Kaite. Very good. Yeah, kaite. Hey. So both in Ichidan Doshi and Godan Doshi, we'll actually get rid of the final syllable in two form to two form, right? So this will always drop in either case. It just depends what to attach at the end. Right? Kuru, irregular. Jameson.
This one becomes Kite.
Very good. Kite. Hey. Matsu, to wait. Katya-san.
Mashite.
Matte. It's a tsu. Yeah. So u, tsu, and ru of Godan Doshi comes small tsu and te. Like chotto matte ne. Please wait. Hey. Asobu, Jameson.
This one is Asu. Asunde.
Asonde. Hey.
Asonde.
Hey. Very good. Toru. Shashi no toru.
Totte.
Yep. Totte. Very good. Jameson, su.
Sute.
Yeah, exception. Su
Okay.
is an irregular word.
So this one is Shite.
Yeah, shite. Very good. Hey. Katya-san, isogu, to hurry.
Isoite.
Yeah, isoide. Very good. Iku, exception here. Not an irregular verb, but an exception. Jameson.
This one is Ite.
Yeah, it. Very good. Neru, Katya-san.
Nete.
Nete. Ichidan Doshi. Yeah, neru, nemasu, nete, etc. So no small tsu, just ne, de. Very good. Hey, shinu.
Shite.
Close.
Hold on. This one is Shinde.
Yeah, shinda, right? Same as the mu and bu final syllables. So shinda. Very good. Hanasu.
Hanashite.
Hanashite. Very good. Right. Kaeru, to return.
Kaite.
Yeah. So this ends with eu, right? But we know it is actually a Godan Doshi. So it's kaete. The small tsu is there because it's a Godan Doshi, right? We know the mas form, it's kaerimas, it's not kaemas, which is there's a kaemas and a kaeru that becomes, but this specifically, this kanji specifically, or the kaeru that we know about to return, right, is a Godan Doshi. So kaete, small tsu, followed by a te. Hai. Okay, very good. So how do we actually use it, right? There's two of the examples in the dialogue here. We have Obaato-san, tsugi no peiji o yonde kudasai. So this yonde kudasai just means please read, right? So the whole thing means, Robert, please read the next page. Tsugi no peiji, no, it's the next page. So it is making a request of the other person to do something, right? And we actually had kudasai before, right? We had noun and then followed by o kudasai, right? To ask for something, like please give me something, usually, right? Osake o kudasai, like please give me sake, for example. Here it's using the te form of a verb plus kudasai. Other example of the dialogue, we have Obaato-san, okite kudasai. Robert, please wake up. Or okite also means like get up, right? To start your day, you get up out of bed. Here, kind of means, yeah, please wake up. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if I wanted to say, please speak Japanese, how would I do that using te kudasai? Any idea?
Hanase.
Hanase is like talk.
Oh,
It's
that's the best I can do.
well, what have we been doing? We formed so you know hanasu, right? So you have the dictionary form there, and we conjugated it using the te form, right? So the te form of hanasu is hanashite. Huh? So hanashite kudasai just means please talk, right? Here we want to say Japanese as in Japanese language.
Nihongo.
Exactly. So all together, we use Nihongo o hanashite kudasai. Like, please speak Japanese. Right? So please stand up or please wake up. What would that be?
Tatte kudasai.
Exactly, yeah. Tatte kudasai is please stand up. Very good. Yeah. And then please wake up. We already know it's okite kudasai. But yeah, please stand up. Tatte kudasai.
You don't need a particle for this statement?
No, because this in itself is just the verb, right? So in the previous example, please speak Japanese. We need the particle o because we determine what has to be spoken. Like Japanese has to be spoken. So Nihongo o hanashite kudasai. If I wanted to say, just say, please speak, I can just say hanashite kudasai, right? So please stand up here by itself, just the action of standing up, not on top of something else, right? Where I would use a particle. Tatte kudasai by itself just means please stand up. Okay. Please listen.
So it's kiku should be kite kudasai.
Yep, kite kudasai. Very good. Now, if I wanted to say, to go back to James-san's question, if I wanted to say, please listen to music.
音楽を聴いてください。
音楽を聴いてください。Very good. So, what does please read mean?
本を読んでください。
Yeah, please read the book is 本を読んでください. Very good, right? And just saying please read would mean 読んでください, right? I would not need a particle here, but if I wanted to ask please read the book, I can, or make the request please read the book, I say 本を読んでください. Very good. Right. please look at page 35.
ページ35を見てください。
Yeah, close. So actually, peiji, believe it or not, is a counter. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So on page 380, right, we looked at in combination with numbers and counters. We have on page 380, the second to the right column, we have peiji actually as a counter together with pondo, right? So peiji in itself is a counter. So what we can say actually is 35ページを見てください. So 35ページ means page 35.
Oh.
Yeah, in the example, we had sugi no peiji, which just means the next page, right? But we can also just say 35ページ, right? So page 35. And now that we know this this form, I will make use of this form more often, right? 35ページを見てください. Please look at page 35. Right. Please bring the textbook. Not everyone at once.
I don't remember bring.
Okay, so vocabulary list 149. So we have
James has the book. 149
James
you said?
on. I thought it was on 149.
Textbook? Bring? To carry, to hold? Is it that?
Oh, I know why. it's under irregular verbs.
Oh, it's a irregular verb. Okay.
Yeah.
So
which yeah, of course.
Okay. So then it would be moteku, but since it's an irregular verb, I don't really know. Motte.
And then okay, the part that needs to be conjugated here, that's why it's not a regular verb. It is actually two verbs combined. You have motsu and then you have ku. So you have motteku. So the part that you also need to conjugate is the ku part. So motte by itself can stay.
Mottekute.
Ku is irregular verb, right? So how do we form the te form of ku?
I genuinely don't know.
That is fine. So we had the irregular verbs are sulu and ku. For the te form of sulu is shite, and for ku is kita. Just ki and then te, so kita. So it would be motte kita. What is textbook?
Isn't it hon?
Textbook is hon is just book.
Kyotokashio.
Kyokasho.
Kyokasho. So kyokasho wo kite.
Kyokasho o motte kite kudasai. Yeah, we talk about this a little bit more. I think it's practical to put it under irregular verbs. It's not. The irregular part is the ku part, right? So kyokasho, the textbook, o motte kite, to bring a thing, right? And kudasai. Right? Please teach me kanji. James-san.
What's the verb for teach?
Oshieru.
Oshieru. Okay, so kanji o oshieru. てをください。ください。
漢字を教えてください。And also, if I wanted to say, please teach kanji to Katya-san, I can also say, Katya-san ni kanji o oshiete kudasai. Since it's me that I'm asking this of, no, right? I'm the recipient of the action here. I, of course, omit the watashi ni, right? But it's also in the vocabulary list. Under verbs, we have oshieru, to teach, to instruct, right? We in parentheses it says person, ni, thing. Oh, so it's a very useful little pattern. Please speak slowly.
Speak is 話する?
Oh, hanasu. Hanasu.
Okay, so slowly. Slowly, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was just new. It's yukuri, no? Slowly.
Okay.
Yukuri.
So ゆっくり話してください?
Close. So we have hanasu is a godan doshi, right? So the su needs to be replaced.
Okay.
With...
So 話してゆっくりください? Or ゆっくり, or is it reverse?
Yeah, yukuri and then
ゆっくり話してください.
Very good. Yukuri hanashite kudasai. Very good. Hi. Very good. So the other form or other usage of the te form, and we kind of actually saw it. So you can describe multiple activities, not just two, as a sequence of actions or events. And for example, motteku is such an instance, right? It in itself, yes, you can think of it as a as its own verb, and you can say to bring, right? A thing, for example. But you can also think of it as motsu, like to carry or to hold, right? And then ku, to come. So I'm holding something, and then I'm still holding it, and then I go some other place. So I hold something and come to another place. In English, we would say, oh, you bring something. Ittekimasu is in another instance, like I go and come back, because we know itte is the te form of iku, to go. And kimasu is the mas form of ku, to come. So I go away and then I come back, right? That's the whole point of to using iku and ku to indicate like position in relation to a speaker and listener. So ittekimasu is another example of really multiple activities that kind of form one meaning. So, and ittekimasu, the kimasu part dictates the tense of the whole, I guess, phrase, right? Since it's a non-past, ittekimasu means I go and come back. If I say ittekimashita, that would essentially mean like I went away and came back, right? So let's look at some of the examples on the slides that I put on here. So 7時に起きてコーヒーを飲みました. So 7時に起きます. I get up at 7 o'clock, right? And kohi o nomimasu would mean I drink coffee. But here, I combine both of those activities and I have this in the past tense. So this then means I got up at 7 and drank coffee. 7時に起きてコーヒーを飲みました。Right? So the te form really just connects, in this case, different or verbs. And then at the very end of the sentence, then you actually know when these events took place or are going to take place. If it's something in the future, also if it's something that you regularly do, because you can still use all of the other forms, all of the other conjugations of verbs that we've learned in the past. And this is such an example too here. So, ラーメン一楽に行って、美味しいラーメンを食べましょう。So, 一楽ラーメン、right? ラーメン一楽に行って、let's, ラーメン一楽に行く just means to go to 一楽ラーメン、right? 美味しいラーメンを食べましょう means let's eat delicious ramen. But since the first part is also connected with the ite, this really has to be translated together because the masho part here, right? Tabemasho, like let's eat, right? This indicates that this whole sentence is more of a let's do this thing, right? But you don't know that until you actually listen till the end, right? Because you can do multiple te forms, like you can connect multiple verbs, but at the very end, you actually know what's going on here. If something happened in the past, or if it's an invitation to do something in the future, etc. Right? So that's why it's very important to listen till the end. Okay. So, any questions on these examples?
So just so that I'm sure that I understand, it would be like I wake up, te, I drank coffee, te, I went shopping, te, and then at the very end, like, and then I went to bed. It's like I could either do mas, which is like now, right? I could do mashita, which is like I did it.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, very good. Cool. So let's look at 158ページを見てください。So page 158. Let's do some examples or some practice. 8. Look at the pictures below and combine the pictures using te forms. So the examples, we have 朝起きてコーヒーを飲みます。Right? So we have we see the sun is shining through the window. I guess it's morning. I don't know. Maybe Jameson could use his compass and tell us. But I guess it's morning. So you and here we just use the present tense or the non-past, right, to describe something, what you plan to do, or it's just something you habitually do. はい。はい、1番。
This would be テレビを見まって。
Yeah, to watch television, we have miru, no? And that's ichidan doshi, so that would be mita. Here, I think it looks more like Mary-san turned off the TV and then went out.
Right. How'd you say that?
Mm,
Turn
yeah,
off.
new vocabulary. So we have teribi or kesu, right? To, let's see, how do you describe it
Kesu.
here? Kesu should be here. Yeah, to turn off or to erase, right? And you
Kesu,
use the
that-
particle o. So teribi or kesu. Put that into the.
Terebi
Mhm.
o keshite.
Mhm.
Terebi o so it'd be terebi o keshite, and then is she coming or going? No, she's going.
Yeah, to go out.
Um, I'm not sure how you would say to go out.
Mm.
Ikimasu.
You can you just say ikimasu, but would you say present tense or?
Yeah, it's just present tense for now. Remember dekaku? We had the whole kanji for deguchi and etc. So dekaku would be to go out.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't.
It was
remember it
part
either.
of the kanji. That's fine. Yeah, teribi or keshite dekakumasu. No? I turn off the TV and then I go out.
Okay.
はい。かてさん、2番。
We're gonna. I think it's a dude, right? We're gonna say it's Robert. So Roberto-san wa tabema shite, and then toire wa or toire wo kimasu.
So to eat is taberu, no?
Taberu.
Taberu
so
is
tabete. So Roberto-san wa taberu tabete, and then toire wo kimasu.
Why is it?
Ikimasu.
Yeah, ikimasu is right. Why did you use the particle o?
Because it's a thing that you use. Oh, but you're supposed to use the ni particles. So toire ni ikimasu.
Yeah, if you exactly toire ni ikimasu. To use, what's to use?
Ikimasu.
Tsukao, no? Tsukao. So
Was that in the? Oh, I see. Tsukao. Okay, so Roberto-san wa tabete, and then toire ni. I don't fucking know. He ate something and then it's toilet. Oh, and then this new verb, which is tsuka.
Tsukao, and that becomes, when we do the must form, the final particle or the final syllable takes on the corresponding iro and then use must, since it's a coda doshi.
Roberto-san tabemasu. Why is this so fucking hard? Tabemasu toire o tsukamasu.
Tsukaimasu.
Imasu.
So,
oh God, that is so hard.
はい、難しいです。ロバートさんは食べてトイレを使います。ロバートさんは食べてトイレに行きます。はい。
Wait, so it's
someone
トイレに not トイレを
トイ
even
レ
though it's
を
something that you
トイレを使います。おトイレに行きます。
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it. Okay.
はい。Yeah, the particle is dependent on what verb you use.
Got it.
Let me, okay. Let's actually do exercise B next. So change the following into T forms and make complete the sentences. That's what it says. Change the following into T forms and make complete the sentences. Okay. Well, error. So 朝起きる because 朝起きて and then you can just say, okay, well, what else do you do when you get up? I guess 新聞を読みます, right? So you can complete the sentences the way you like, but after you conjugate the verb into the tier form. So James-san, 友達の家に行く. Please make a sentence.
Okay. 友達の家に行く. Okay, so so that would be 友達の家行って. And so what does that mean? That means friend of my house goes.
Your friend's house.
Oh. Okay, so so my friend's house, go to my friend's house. 友達の家に行って食べましょう.
Yeah, for example, right? はい、友達の家に行って、sushi を食べます。I go to my friend's house and eat sushi. Or 友達の家に行って日本語の勉強をします。We do Japanese studies, for example. はい。2番、カテさん、家に帰る。This 帰る is a 語段動詞。
Got it. So, it's a godandoshi?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Godandoshi is the second one, right?
Godandoshi is the one that where you have to do a little bit more work. Yeah. So
right.
if the,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, uchi ni kai. Kaite, 映画を見ます.
Very good. 家に帰って映画を見ます. Very good. はい、3番、電車を降りる. So this 降りる means to get off, right? To get off the train. 電車を降りる. はい。
Okay. So 電車を降り, and then ru would be, so this is 降りて. 電車を降りて図書館行きます。
はい。電車を降りて、一段動詞、降りて、図書館へ行きます。図書館に行きます。はい。
図書館に行きます。
Yeah, 図書館に、図書館へ、both of them. 4番、友達に会う。
What is ao again?
To meet a friend.
Okay. 友達に会って right? 会って
Yep. 会って、very good.
原宿に来ます。行きます。
Yeah. Yeah. Both are understandable. I would say ikimasu unless, yeah, because it's you meet up with a friend and then together, you go to harajuku. So ikimasu is the proper usage there. Unless you talk to someone who is in harajuku and you let them know that you're coming to them, but out of context, it makes more sense to use iku. Hi, very good.
Okay.
自転車を借りる to borrow a bicycle.
Hariru is to borrow?
Is it not?
I don't know. I'm just not familiar with the verb.
Let's look at the vocabulary list. Yeah, kariru. 100, page 149. Anta ichidan doshi.
Okay.
Let me see it.
All right, so jitensha o kairite. And then what do I do? I don't know what
Take photos.
No.
Yes. I saw your Instagram.
But I don't want to do that. I would.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go somewhere?
Yeah. So jitensha o kairite, and then tomodachi no uchi ni ikimasu.
Hey, very good. Hi. And Hokuban, daigaku ni iku. Katya-san?
大学に
Exception.
I'm looking for ite.
Yeah, ite with a small so. Yep.
Ite, and then 勉強します.
Very good.
します.
Yep. Thank you, Shimasu. Very good. Hi. Very good. Okay, cool. Yeah, tier form is difficult, but super useful. So, 頑張ってください. Okay, so what we also found in this dialogue is using the tier form followed by wa ikemasen. No, not ikimasu or ikimasen, but ikemasen. So what you can think of this form is this essentially expresses strong prohibitions. So, for example, kuasu de nete wa ikemasen, right? Yamachan, Yamashita sensei, no? Said, kuasu de nete wa ikemasen. You must not sleep in class, right? I think the Genki translation said something along the lines like, you cannot sleep in class, but clearly Robert can sleep in class. And so, you know, why it's might be a little bit more natural to say, oh, you cannot do that. It's not really clear if it's really not a possibility or if it's a prohibition, and it is a prohibition. You're not supposed to do this, right? So, you must not sleep in class. So the way you use this with the tier form of verbs, verb in tier form plus wa ikemasen means essentially you must not do that verb, right? So neru becomes nete, so nete wa ikemasen, you must not sleep. And where? Kuasu de nete wa ikemasen. That's essentially it. So let's look at page 160. It's Roman numeral 5. Tabete wa ikemasen. Right? So we see you're the teacher of a rowdy class, ban the following disruptive activities, right? So our example, someone is eating a snack. So you say, Tabete wa ikemasen. You must not eat, right? So ichiban, what do we have here? We have someone using a smartphone. It looks like it. Yeah. So how would you say you must not use a smartphone?
So what's the order? Verb in te followed by you must not. So would I say sumaho? What's the verb for to use?
149.
Yeah, tsukau. Tsukau.
So tsukau, and that would change to sukate. Sukate.
Tsukate. Yep, small tsu, and then followed by te. Yep, tsukate.
So what would I say? Sumaho tsukate.
And then
and then wa ikemasen.
Very good. Smaho tsukate wa ikemasen. You must not use your smartphone. How would I say, please use your smartphone?
Smaho tsukete kudasai.
Yeah, without the U, right? So, one O. So, smaho o tsukatte kudasai. Very good. Hey, 2番.
I think that's talking, right? So,
Yeah.
hanashi?
Yeah, the
Right?
dictionary form is hanasu.
Hanasu. Okay, so hanasu.
Yeah, you were on the right track.
Hanashite wa ikimasen.
Yep, hanashite wa ikimasen. Hai. 3番. I guess don't bring your dog. Dog is inu. Or puppy is ko inu.
Okay. So what is to bring? Let's see. So I guess I would start with ko inu. Oh, sorry, ko inu o. How do I say to bring?
Isn't it here somewhere?
Oh, it's motekuru. So that's the dictionary form, irregular verb, motekuru. So kohinu motekute. Yeah, small. No?
Kita, no? Ku is irregular, comes kita.
Oh, really? Oh, kite. Oh, you're right. Okay, kite. So, ko inu o kite waikemasen. Waikimasen.
Yep. It's not really clear. So from the vocabulary list, unfortunately. So we also have, well, this is not a person, right? What you can also use is tsurete, ku. So you can use koi no tsurete kite wa ikemasen. No? I think it's more common to use that for living things, but I think motekita is fine to use as well. Hi, Yonban.
音楽を聴く、切る right? So 音楽を聴いてはいきません。
聞いてはいけません。You have
聞いてはい
き
ません。
てはいけません。So ku becomes いて。So since you have already き comes 聞いてはいけません。音楽を聴いてはいけません。Very good. はい。And 5番。
Okay, so got some sleeping in class. How do you say
Sleep is an old verb.
Yeah. How do you say to sleep? Like you put yourself to bed. But I forgot how to say it. Oh, it's right here. Oh. So what does that say? It says class de. Of course, I can't read the kanji. Class de te wa.
寝てはいけません。
Okay,
Because it's
class
寝る。
de. Oh, right. Neru, that's the verb. Class de nete wa ikemasen.
Hi. Very good. Okay, cool. Final point, not the te form, but one of the uses of kara. No? Here it is a subordinate conjunction which expresses a reason or a cause. So the way this is used here, the example we have 教科書を持ってきてくださいね。毎日使いますから。So please bring your book because we use it every day. So 使いますから because we use it. Right? So essentially what you do is attach kara at the end of your sentence to express a reason. Right? So here we have must form followed by kara. Tsukai masu kara just means because we use it. Next example. Watashi wa konban benkyou shimasu. I will study this evening. Oh. And now let's look at the reason. Ashita testu ga arimasu kara, because there's a test tomorrow. Right? Seems like we have a grammar here. So next example. Nihon ni ikimashou. Let's go to Japan. You don't know this one yet? This is Tokyo. It's a place. So I Tokyo desu ka, because it is a good place. So we can, of course, essentially have our sentence and then just attach kara at the end, right? So this works with verbs in different forms, right? But then also for the copula, right? I Tokyo desu. It is a good place. And then kara at the end, well, because it is a good place. It's a nice place.
So could I say something like ケーキを食べましょう。おいしいでから
Oishi desu kara.
ですから。Okay.
Yeah. Let's eat cake because it is delicious. Very good. Absolutely. So, はい。161ページを見てください. Please look at page 161. So there we have Roman numeral 6. Benkyou shimasu. Ashita testu ga arimasu kara. We just had that. So A, add reasons to the following sentences. So example, again, Benkyo shimasu. So we can form a sentence like Benkyo shimasu. Ashita testo ga arimasu kara. So, ichiban, we have Senshu wa taihen deshita. Last week was terrible. So, let's add a reason.
So sorry, we're on number 6A?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll go. Sensho wa taihen deshita. Tenki wa yoku kana yoku ja na katamasu.
You started off good. So, tenki wa yoku na katta. Yoku na katta. It wasn't good.
Yoku na katta.
And then yoku na katta.
Kara?
Kara. And since we use a formal speech here, it's yoku na katta desu kara, right? So, Senshi wa taihen deshita. Tenki wa yoku na katta desu kara. Last week was terrible because the weather was not good. Hey, very good.
I see. So it doesn't replace dasu. It's added after dasu.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
はい。2番、あの映画を見ません。I will not watch this movie. James さん。
あの映画を見ません。あの映画は怖いですから。
Nice. あの映画は怖いですから。Very good. はい。よくあのレストランに行きます。
よくあのレストランに行きます。おいしい寿司はです。Wait, おいしい寿司 I'm really struggling today. おいしい寿司あります。から?
Yeah.
Because they have good sushi? Because they have
Exactly.
yummy sushi? Okay.
Yeah. おいしい寿司がありますから。Very good. はい。はい。昨日クラスを休みました。
昨日クラスを休みました。What is 休みました?
So, yasumu is to take a break.
I see. Okay, so 昨日クラスを休みました。
So is it yesterday's class took a break?
Yeah. And then, what am I trying to say?
How about because it was Saturday?
Oh, right.
For example.
Oh man, I gotta dig up my vocabulary for the days of the week. That would be oh right. Doyobi desu kara.
Was, not is.
Uh-oh. Doyobi deshita kara.
Yep, very good. Very good. Okay, cool. You made it to the final piece of today's class, kanji. Okay, so we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 5. Okay, so first one, haha, also used in okasan. And but because we know a little bit more kanji, there's going to be other interesting kanji as well, compound kanji. So go. So we have 5 strokes. Oh, my camera. 1 second. Should have prepared that. Okay. Save, share screen again so you can see both. Hi. Kind of like that. I'm emulating Robato-san's handwriting. So next time we read a postcard, we can see that better. So this by itself is haha, which really refers to my mother. But it also has a different onyomi reading, kunyomi reading, ka, as in oka-san. So this by itself is haha, but oka-san. Now, with o before the kanji and san afterwards, it becomes oka-san, no? Which can be your mother, can be somebody else's mother, right? And another compound kanji that I want to show you is bogo, which is mother tongue. So we have mother here. And it's not tongue, but language. Oops, it's a little long, but. And this is, oops. So this is bogo, mother tongue. Right. Next, we have chichi, father. That looks like this. By itself, chichi, or again, o before, san after, it becomes oto-san. Oto-san. It's to-u, oto-san. And those kanji together. Oops. All right. Let's try this one again. This is fubo. It's father and mother. I guess you could say parents. But this is a little bit more specific. Because there are many ways to form parents. Here it's just father and mother. Okay, next one. It's
I have a question.
Yes.
So I know that like being gay and being able to adopt children is not a thing in Japan right now, but if we're talking about like your own parents and your parents are gay, so it's 2 men, would you still use fubo even though technically they're both fathers?
If so, you can most likely if it refers to like if like gender roles are utilized that traditionally fall into a male female kind of this heteronormativity general stereotype, even though the biological makeup of these parents is different, then that might be a situation where you could still use that, I believe. But there are other words to say parents, like yoshin, go yoshin. That might be a little bit more appropriate. I'm actually not sure if there's like a constellation where you say, okay, you have two fathers, you have two mothers. I assume there is, but yeah, like you pointed out, those are not as common yet. But I'm sure there's a specialized vocabulary for those instances.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, next one, we have ko as in gakko for school. So we also have the father in here, actually. So we have, let me actually do the whole thing. So we have, first we know this one, gaku, right? And then we have, so this, now this first kanji, which we already know from gakusei, like gaku, etc. This is gak followed by a small tsu, and then this new one, ko u gakko, and that just means school. Now we can also, for example, we know naka or chugoko, for example. So we know this kanji here, right? This has the reading of chu, and then chugakko means middle school. I think it's closer to, in terms how it relates to the US education system, it would be, I guess, junior high school. And then, as I told you earlier, so for small little, chi sai. For example, chi sai. So this is chi and another e, chi sai. E adjective, right? Means small. And then actually, let me erase the chugakko here and replace it with this kanji. And now this takes on the onyomi reading of sho. So shogakko is elementary school, and then just as a reminder, for example, so this is shogakusei. Now this is gaku. Oops. Right, so shogakusei would be elementary school student. Cool. Last one. It's mai. And so for example, maishu, like every week, or mainichi. So I think this one first. Okay. So might as in mainichi. Now this is more like Robato san handwriting, because this goes more out here. So Yeah, and those were, and this is actually Kunyomi reading. I actually do not know of a Kunyomi reading of this one, at least one that's common. Hey, okay, so homework. This is the homework. There's quite a bit of homework. So in the vocabulary list, in the workbook, we have page 59 through 63. So it's a lot of conjugation, T form. Yep, conjugation. But then also using, of course, te kudasai, describing two activities. And then on page 65, we have the te wa ikemasen, so prohibitions. That is that. And then for the textbook, page 320. Oops, I just missed it. There we have, again, and this is actually very similar to also JLPT style question. Sometimes you have, so here you have a bulletin board and you need to find information on that, right? So you have some information and here are 4 questions, well, in English. So that part is different to the JLPT because everything is Japanese, but essentially information gathering, right? So I would like for you to do that. And then on page 322 and 323, again, we have some handwriting, better handwriting because it's Naomi-san who writes this. She has a lot more practice than Robato-san in writing Japanese, of course, right? And it's about, again, finding out like the information that is asked for, like where's the restaurant, what the restaurant has for food, and then there's also some multiple choice questions. And then, of course, review goes without saying, especially vocabulary, right? So, and then we will cover the remaining dialogues. So read and or listen to the dialogues 2 and 3 again. And that'll be it. Then we're gonna go to the next chapter after that again. Cool. Wonderful. I'm gonna stop the recording, gonna send you the slides already. Oops, didn't want to move. 1 second. There we go.